before the clock strikes the next hour. Your life could change forever. Don't skip this. Archangel Michael says, there are messages that cannot remain hidden, truths that yearn to be spoken, even beyond the veil of life. And dear soul, tonight, that truth is looking for you. Imagine, just for a moment, receiving a final letter from someone you love deeply. Words they couldn't bring themselves to say while they were alive. Words that sat heavy in their chest. Words that were swallowed by fear, pride, confusion, or the aching weight of later. But there is no later. Where they are now, there is only honesty. There is only love. There is only the truth, pure, unfiltered, and finally free. This letter isn't just words on a page. It is a bridge between two souls, a connection that defies time and space, a whisper that slips through the cracks of your grief and lands right where your heart has been quietly breaking. As you hear it, you may feel emotions rising, tears, warmth, a sudden tightness in your chest, a wave of memories, or even that strange, undeniable feeling that someone is near. Archangel Michael says, this moment is not a coincidence. It is appointed. So if you're ready to receive this blessing, if you're ready to let healing begin, like this message in your heart and breathe slowly with me and type amen, not for me, not for anyone else, but as a signal to your own spirit. I am ready to release what I've been holding. Now listen. The letter begins. My love, I've tried to reach you in quiet ways, in the sudden song that plays at the exact moment your mind drifts to me, in the dream that feels too real, in the warmth that touches you when the room is cold, in the moment you look up and feel something. That something is me, and I need you to know, before the next hour arrives, before you close your eyes, before you keep carrying life like you've been carrying it, I never left you the way you think I did. Take a deep breath, because these words are tender, but they are also strong. They are not meant to reopen your wounds. They are meant to finally let them breathe. I need to tell you the truth. The letter continues. I couldn't tell you while I was alive because fear held me hostage. Fear of hurting you. Fear of being misunderstood. Fear of having to face myself and admit what I didn't know how to handle. Dear soul, if this resonates, type 333, because some people don't stay silent because they don't care. They stay silent because they don't know how to be soft without feeling exposed. They stay silent because they were taught that love must be hidden to be safe. And now, their soul is finally brave. I never told you how much you meant to me, they write. Not because I didn't feel it, but because I didn't know how to express it without shaking. Every time you smiled, it felt like the world became a little brighter. Every time you spoke my name, it felt like I belonged somewhere. And then, a pause, like their spirit is swallowing emotion, but I held back my joy. They admit, because deep down I wondered if I deserved to share in it. Dear soul, do you hear that? Sometimes the people who loved you the most also believed they were not good enough to keep you. So they pulled away. They acted cold. They pretended they didn't care. But the truth was, they cared too much. Archangel Michael says, the deepest love is often the most frightened. The letter continues. I didn't always make the right choices. I know there were moments that hurt you. I know there were days you stared at the ceiling and wondered why my love felt like a locked door. Please believe me when I say this. I was doing the best I could with the strength and understanding I had at the time. Dear soul, let that land gently, not as an excuse, but as an explanation. Because some hearts love you while still being broken, and some people don't know they're hurting you until they're watching their life from the other side. Archangel Michael says, forgiveness is not forgetting, it is freeing. And this letter is not asking you to erase the past. It is asking you to stop bleeding from it. I want to apologize, they write, for the silence, for the confusion, for the moments when you needed reassurance and I gave you distance. I thought I was protecting you, and sometimes I was only protecting myself. If you're ready to release resentment, even just a little, type 111. Not because what happened was okay, but because you deserve peace. The letter continues. I've seen your struggles, and dear soul, this part is going to touch your heart deeply. I've seen the nights when you tried to be strong for everyone. I've seen you smile in front of people while your soul was tired. I've seen you carry pain so quietly that no one noticed you were drowning. And there were moments, they write, when I wished I could step into your world for just 1 minute, just one, so I could hold your hand and tell you what you needed to hear, even when you felt alone. You weren't, because love does not end. Love changes form. Love becomes a presence. Love becomes a shield. Archangel Michael says, some connections are assigned by heaven. They do not disappear. They transform. Now listen closely. This letter is not only about regret. It is also about a gift they couldn't give you while they were alive. Truth. You've been searching for answers. They write, why things happened the way they did, why I couldn't be what you needed, why I had to leave when I did. And then they confess something that may make your chest tighten. The truth is, I knew you loved me more purely than I knew how to receive. Dear soul, do you understand? You were not too much. You were just more love than they knew how to hold. I was scared of your depth, they admit, because when someone loves you the way you loved me, it forces you to face yourself, and I didn't know how. So they ran, or they shut down, or they stayed half present, because to fully love you would have required them to become someone braver, and they weren't ready back then. But now their soul sees it clearly. I see everything now, they say. I see how you kept trying, how you kept hoping, how you kept believing in me, even when I wasn't believing in myself. Dear soul, let the tears come if they come. Tears are not weakness. Tears are the body releasing what the heart could not speak. Archangel Michael says, let the emotion move. It is cleansing. Then the letter softens, like a hand touching your face. I want you to know something important, they write. My passing was not punishment. It was transition, and I am at peace. And if you've been carrying guilt, if you've been replaying, what if I did more? They address it directly. Please stop blaming yourself. Please stop rewriting the ending. Please stop punishing your heart. You loved me. You were real with me. You gave me something rare. If I could go back, they whisper through the ink, I would choose softer words. I would choose honesty sooner. I would choose to tell you the truth while I still had breath. Dear soul, type 777 if you can feel this, because this is not random. This is the part where your spirit recognizes them. Then, like a light cutting through fog, the letter says what your heart has always wanted to hear. I did love you, not in a shallow way, not in a temporary way. I loved you in a way that changed me. And then, even when I didn't say it, even when I acted like I didn't care, please understand, my love was there. It was always there. Archangel Michael says, some love is silent not because it is small, but because it is buried beneath fear. Now the letter shifts. It becomes a message of purpose, a message for your future. Promise me something, they write. Promise me you will keep going. Promise me you will not let my absence become your prison. Dear soul, this is the moment where the energy changes, because the spirit on the other side does not want you stuck. They want you alive. They want you expanding. They want you to choose life again. Chase the dreams you kept hidden in your heart. They write, do it for you. But know I'll be cheering you on. Live fully. Love without fear. Let joy find you again. And then, the most healing line, you don't have to prove your love by suffering. Read that again. Dear soul, you don't have to prove your love by suffering, because some of you have been loyal to pain, loyal to memories, loyal to grief, as if moving forward means you are leaving them behind. But the truth is, healing is not betrayal. Healing is honor. Archangel Michael says, the dead do not want the living to die inside. Now listen. This next part is where many hearts break open in a good way. You are my greatest gift, they write, and I will love you always. Thank you for being you. Not just for what you gave, not just for what you did, but for who you were, because they saw you, even if they didn't always show it. And now, they end the letter with something that feels like closure and a new beginning at the same time. When you feel a sudden peace for no reason. That's me. When you find strength you didn't know you had. That's me. When you choose joy again. I am smiling with you. And when your heart finally rests. They whisper, I will be proud of you, dear soul. Archangel Michael says, love transcends all boundaries. Even death is not strong enough to break a soul bond. So if you've been waiting for a sign, this is it. If you've been praying for closure, this is it. If you've been asking, did they love me? This is it. Their message is clear. You are loved. You are seen. And you are not alone. Now take one more deep breath. Place your hand over your heart and say softly, out loud if you can, I release the pain. I receive the love. I choose peace. Type amen if you receive this blessing. And dear soul, before the clock strikes the next hour, remember this. Your life can change forever. Not because the past changes, but because you finally stop carrying it alone.